a mobile device. How the hell would I know? They just did this without a search warrant and got all this information about these people, and you misled us under oath. And by the way, your FBI agents have engaged in a conspiracy to perpetrate computer hacking. So you misled us under oath, and your agents are conspiring to commit the crimes that they're supposed to investigate. This is a rogue organization, in my view, uncountenanced by the Constitution. It should be defunded and disbanded. Let the states investigate crimes. It's not a federal function. Was never intended under the Constitution. This is an example of a totalitarian government.
You said, that this guy testified in secret. Who the hell are they to testify in secret? Let's start with that. Oh, we have no right to know anything. Only the club has the right to know. Who the hell? Oh, a senator. Hey, little boys and girls, remember the word public servant?
Right.
You work for us. No, you don't.
It's pretty bad. So we only know about this because Senator Wyden is as disgusted with the secrecy as you and I are, and he decided to break it. So he wrote letters to Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, quoting Wray's testimony, harshly critical of this program, and then he published the letters. Because he, as a senator, when he learns this stuff in secret, is not allowed to mention it on the Senate floor or tell other senators about it. That's how absurd the rules are. He had enough, and he decided to publicize this. The New York Times wrote an article about it. Now you and I are talking about it.
Look at the CIA. How many people in the CIA?
21,000. 21,000 foreign spies. Half of them are the president's private army. Like in Libya, they can wage a secret war that Mrs. Clinton and President Obama waged because they wanted to slaughter Gaddafi, a prosperous and wonderful country, now back to the poverty that it had before Gaddafi was there. He was tortured to death by his political opponents. Well, the Americans permitted them to do it. Look, all of this was done by the CIA at the direction of the president. Again, nowhere countenanced by the Constitution. Where does the president have his own secret army in the Constitution? Nowhere. But that's what the CIA has become. Donald Trump used it to murder General Soleimani. But Biden did it to murder, I forget the guy's name, the doctor that was number 2 to bin Laden. He's retired and living by himself and saying his prayers, and they evaporated him. Obama used this theory of the secret army to kill Americans who were in Yemen and said it was too bad they were collateral damage, even though he aimed for them. It's reprehensible what the presidency has become because of things like secret FBI, secret testimony, secret CIA, secret army. And the Constitution, by the way, says no money shall be spent from the public treasury except that which is recorded in a public journal. Go and try to find the public journal that records what all these secret agencies spend money on. You can't find it. It doesn't exist.
You see, everyone listening, this is why you need to tune in and spread the word. What Judge Napolitano is saying to you, no one else is saying. No one, anywhere, any place. And this is a man with the judicial authority and knowledge to back it up. And what's happened to this country is so seriously damaging to the human spirit and what this nation was founded upon. And this is only one example of how it's going down in so many different ways. And so we really need to reverse this trend, or else it's going to get much, much worse. And what? By the way, you mentioned the CIA. What's their budget? How much do we pay them?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know, notwithstanding that clause in the Constitution. No monies, not some, no monies shall be spent from public funds, except those recorded in a public journal. Madison knew exactly what he was doing. Madison knew how to prevent tyranny, but the big government, both parties, Republican and Democrat, and their allies in the court and the presidents have found ways around this.
And
even Justice Scalia used to complain to me about this. And then he would say, and every time somebody brings a lawsuit to challenge it, the court throws the lawsuit out, saying you don't have a standing to sue. And he was right. He was right. The courts have found a way to avoid addressing these issues. Scalia himself said to me, paper money is unconstitutional because the Constitution says money's got to be backed by a precious metal. Only gold or silver can be money. He goes, you think the Supreme Court would ever enforce that? Of course not. The Supreme Court's afraid of what big government would do to them. Well, if the Supreme Court is afraid of big government, can imagine how the rest of us feel.
Well, I want two things. You said the Supreme Court is afraid, right? No, cowardly little boys and girls are afraid. Let's not put it in the whole system here. Cowardly little boys and girls. And number two, you kept using the term that this guy misled the Senate committee. He lied. They used the term misled. You lied.
Well, it's the same statute as perjury. So the chief federal law enforcement officer of the land is now credibly accused of committing the very crime that he and his 8,000 agents investigate. And a significant number of those agents are accused of conspiring to commit the crime of computer hacking, a federal crime that they are hired to investigate. So is the FBI rogue or is the FBI rogue? I mean, this is a pretty simple question to answer. But big government, Republicans and Democrats, will still fund these rogue agencies. Republicans and Democrats, the Lindsey Graham types, will still fund the CIA, will still fund the Department of Homeland Security, will still fund the Department of Education, will still fund the National Security Agency. Should be called what it is, the National Spying Agency.
Yeah, National Spying Agency.
I think that these secret federal entities have dirt on members of Congress, and without doing so directly, make it clear if you don't increase our budget, you're going to see some stuff you don't want to see in social media and in the newspapers in a couple of weeks. And that's the way the government operates.
Well, again, we just had the midterm elections in the United States, and the cover of the Trends Journal, it was U.S. elections, Democrats versus Republicans equal Bloods versus Crips, murderers and thieves.
Yeah.
That's what this country, and murderers and thieves. You just mentioned the murderers, the Obama, the Bushes, the Clinton.